Welcome to episode 4 of April Anger, the last episode of round 1. We've got Inkling against Robin. These predictions are, of course, still worth 1 point for anybody who may have forgotten. Really quick trait to start out with the match, right above the top platform. Oh, and their auto heals are just barely not synchronized. That's going to get really annoying until either one of them hits 0%, or one of them dies. Or possibly an additional scenario I cannot think of. Oh, in fact, their auto heals seem to be incredibly offset. That's actually going to be pretty interesting. I might just look that up later. And if future me remembers to do this, now would be a great time to put the explanation on screen. And if the explanation is super long, it might still be going. Alright, now down to this match. Nobody's died, although Inkling just barely avoided death there. Oh, Robin's Levin sword was still recovering. And it's back, and Inkling is dead. Oh, there's an interesting clash there. But it looked like it was with an aerial, but Inkling was still invincible. Interesting stuff. Inkling has not been getting too much ink on Robin. Those who don't know, the ink makes you take more damage from additional attacks, and not just attacks from Inkling. Any attacks will do it. It's actually impressive how much work they made into making sure that the ink would cover characters properly. Oh, Robin makes it back. Gets a beefy smash attack on Inkling there. Inkling throwing a bomb off stage, not really sure why. Refilling on ink. Some people don't know this, you refill the ink by holding shield and pressing B. Or using one of your special moves that don't have any ink in them. And of course, if you remap the controls, then the inputs would be different. But you can refill the... Robin gets the Spike of Elwind on Inkling, putting Inkling low enough that their amazing recovery didn't actually take him back to the stage. Brutal forward throw there, where you just hold a gun to somebody's head and shoot them. It is, of course, effectively a super soaker, so it's not as violent. Oh, Robin read the roll in with a taunt. Not something you normally want to do. Inkling with that forward throw again. Throwing another bomb off stage. It's a sizable ink usage. Not one that you would, you know, just throw away on idly. We are on last stock for Inkling, not for Robin though, but that's why the music picks up. Certain musical tracks will do that in this game. Most of them from the Street Fighter series actually will. And a couple other here and there. Usually musical tracks that have a sped up version. Alright, Inkling finally gets a kill on Robin, but needs to get 2 more before dying themselves. And Robin's Levin sword is very strong. In Smash 4, it felt a lot more necessary to ration out when you would use which sword. I think just the speed of Smash Ultimate, and possibly some timing adjustments, made it less of a pressing requirement. You, of course, still should if you're using the character. However, it's less punishing in Smash Ultimate, at least from what it feels for me. Or maybe Robin's just got better at rationing out their ink so it doesn't come up as much. Thorn at the ledge will kill Inkling. That match goes to Robin. And for our next match, we have Squirtle against Lucario. Ugh. That's so painful. I should have pressed start. Alright, this time for our next match we have Squirtle against Lucario. Man, usually I'd edit stuff like that out. Of course, usually I don't think I have done that specific blunder. So, Squirtle's been a very downtrodden amiibo, just never quite catching a lucky break. Usually at the hands of Ivysaur, even. Lucario is, of course, a new amiibo. Well, new to April Anger, I should say. So we still have much to see out of him. Will be really interesting because Lucario specializes in killing opponents when he's at a high percent. But all of the Pokemon Trainer amiibo have a tendency to change to Squirtle at a really weird time, which could prove to be Squirtle's death. And, in case anyone's wondering, the amiibo, they do have the physical... Oh! Trade that kills them both. They do have a physical amiibo that's modeled after one of the characters, but they all are the Pokemon Trainer character. There isn't any programming that restricts them to one Pokemon. They're free to switch as they see fit. That being said, when training, I try to train them to use their specific character more often. Not that it's extremely successful, but the thought's there. And of course, if we get a Pokemon Trainer amiibo next year, which is possible, you know, it's dependent on the market and how quickly I can acquire the things, I try to go for an even distribution. And Squirtle just mollywogs Lucario for the second stock. Definitely using Ivysaur's really massive aerials to his advantage. He needs to watch out though, because Lucario does gain additional aura if he's behind in stocks. Granted, oh, that almost got him killed. But that did kill Lucario with the Squirrel Smash attack of all things. I feel like we've witnessed a rare event. Alright, Captain Falcon against Isabelle. We'll see how this plays out.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now, Isabelle, I believe, didn't make it into April Anger last year. Guess I'm gonna have to double check that. Captain Falcon gets messed up by the hit lag of the balloons. He hit one and, well, in case anybody didn't know, in Smash Brothers, when you hit a really big attack, you know how the characters kind of freeze for a little bit? Well, it, first of all, helps just understand the game, and it does mean that the longer that character's frozen, the harder the attack hit. Well, Captain Falcon hit a strong attack on a very weak balloon, but Isabelle wasn't in the hit lag, so she was able to get a free hit on Captain Falcon. And she's been turning into a pretty strong match for her so far, even turning Captain Falcon's combo against him. Ooh, re-grabbing the ledge. Very dangerous against Captain Falcon because his down air just seems really easy to hit people below the ledge with. And if they do not have the invincibility, that's even worse for them. Captain Falcon has learned to not go down after Isabelle in that specific situation. Isabelle gets a re-grab, but Captain Falcon air dodges away, but Isabelle sacrifices her body as a tribute to let Captain Falcon live. Body block edge guarding doesn't usually come up because it's almost ever only effective against Ness, Lucas, and Charizard. However, it is extremely ineffective against Captain Falcon and Ganondorf, who get to use their up B recovery an additional time if they grab you with it. Up tilt to forward air, not usually what you go for on Isabelle. But Captain Falcon didn't get out of it. Isabelle gets sent very low, grabs the stage with a fishing rod. They're both just hanging out on the ledge again. I feel like a lot of this match has been taking place on one or the other side of the stage. Not much middle of the stage happenings going on. Captain Falcon just runs across the whole stage instead of reading Isabelle's landing. Threatens an up air, but doesn't, and then he gets a knee! Captain Falcon is insane. I mean, as insane as you can be for somebody who's currently losing. So the Falcon Knee of Justice isn't officially called the Falcon Knee of Justice, but somebody at some point decided to name it that, and everybody just went along with it. All of Captain Falcon's other moves do, of course, actually have a name. Some being incredibly obvious. You know, like the Falcon Punch. Really hard to miss the name on that. Isabelle was able to outpace Captain Falcon there. Feels a little weird. Captain Falcon did go for a grab, of course. Weird thing about the amiibo is that... Okay, so, to go even farther back, when Smash Ultimate first came out, one of the first techs people discovered was using your shield to extend the length of your normal grab. It doesn't really come up much anymore, especially with dash grabs being suitable. The difference between them isn't nearly as much. Isabelle games Captain Falcon. Anyways, I found out early on that if you tried to teach the amiibo to do that, they would just whiff a whole bunch of grabs. So I stopped teaching the amiibo to do that. Because specifically whiffing a grab is a terrible strategy, but they keep going for standing grabs when the opponent was too far away. Also in Smash Ultimate, pivot grabs aren't as important as they were in Smash 4. Probably mostly due to the fact that you can no longer run through your opponent. Which was weird because it started out as, like, a glitch. Like, people in early versions of the game actually reported, oh hey, you can't run through opponents for some reason. But then they actually kept it and they added mechanics to it. I think it actually did really great for just the health of the game. Instead of shielding and trying to run through your opponents to mix them up, if an opponent's standing there, you have to respect that space, because if you want to get to the space on the other side of them, you either have to roll through, which is risky, or, like, jump over them. But if you're trying to jump over them just to get to the other side of them, they're probably going to hit you with something. Ooh, Captain Falcon with a good parry there. Turns it into a combo of 2 hits. If he had gone for a side B there, that would have been probably very beneficial to him. He is, however, having a problem getting through Isabelle's slingshot. A forward air that makes a projectile. Who would have thought that would have been a very good move? Oh, Isabelle stuffs out Captain Falcon's edgeguard attempt with the slingshot pellet there. Isabelle regrabs the ledge, gets spiked by Captain Falcon. It's as the prophecy foretold. Now we're at Samus against Ludwig. Well, Bowser Jr. Because, I mean, he looks like Ludwig, but it is the Bowser Jr. amiibo. It was difficult to choose which skin to go with for Bowser Jr. Because all the amiibo, you get to choose which coloration you want them to normally have. So usually for all these amiibo, I've been trying to pick the coolest option available. But for Bowser Jr., all the different colorations are also a different Koopaling. Which, don't worry, doesn't like affect the game in the slightest. But, you know, it does bring up the question, which Koopaling would be the coolest? And Ludwig's usually always been the unique one. Well, the uniquest one, I guess. His boss fights are usually different from everyone else. They gave him this weird flutter thing. Now he's almost like the final boss of the Koopalings. Not that there's any established order or anything, but they seem to like to keep Ludwig for last. And poor Lemmy seems to be the least notable of the Koopalings. Or at least I think his name's Lemmy, which, you know, highlights how unnotable he is. But he just has less about him, I guess. He's like the default Koopaling, I guess. Everyone else was modeled around him. Well, Bowser Jr.'s done a real good job of turning this match back after dying just a little earlier than you would hope. I'm surprised the Koopa Clown Car's armor didn't get him through that charge shot, the uncharged charge shot. Interesting trade there with the neutral air and the up smash. Mostly just how far the up smash got without actually hitting Bowser Jr. See, that time the clown car did armor through the missile. Expertly air dodging through that forward air, but he still needs to take another stock. A back air would probably do it. That being said, Bowser Jr. does normal. That bomb combo, the Pombo combo, almost just did in Samus. Samus is now struggling. Okay, Samus is now dead. Bowser Jr. brings it back with only a 34% deficit. Ooh, Samus could have maybe killed Bowser Jr. with a second back air there. That being said, she's still doing a pretty good job of keeping him off stage. Bowser Jr. does make it back with the up B. He used to have a problem of specifically going too low and never using a side B to recover. Bowser Jr.'s jab, something you should know about it, is that it will kill, especially near the ledge. I don't know how you would quantify the best jab in the game, but Bowser Jr. has a very good jab. There's another bomb trap, the Mecha Koopa, there we go. I knew they had a name. I've played Mario games before. Weird thing about the Mario games is that they'll make an enemy... Oh! Bowser Jr. didn't get his clown car back. Anyways, in the Mario games, they'll make an enemy for a specific purpose, sometimes for a specific level, and then they'll get repurposed in, like, the Mario Party games and the sports games for all sorts of reasons. Was that a teabag down tilt? Samus made it back, but Bowser Jr. is making the swing back again. Seems to be the main theme of this match. Ooh, a little early to get Samus with the Mecha Koopa, but I don't think Samus got her... Oh, she did get her jump back. It can be a little bit hard to tell because you get your jump back when your feet hit the ground. But if a tall character grabbed a short character, their feet might not hit the ground. That being said, it's a lot harder to grab characters out of the air. Catching the air dodge read with the cannonball. We've got a game on our hands now. Psyching out Samus with the jump canceling out of the clown car. Samus is just focusing on the fundamentals this whole game, though. Not to sound biased towards Bowser Jr., but people do like an underdog. And Samus got a falling up air into an up smash into an up smash. This could be anybody's game. They're pretty close. They're off stage. Samus makes it back. Samus, of course, has a wall jump, which is definitely beneficial on this stage because the walls go all the way down to the bottom blast zone. Because if they didn't, you could get trapped under the stage, and that would just... I mean, you can get trapped under some stages, but on a stage like this, that would just feel so terrible. Samus exiling Bowser Jr. to the right half of the stage. Doesn't go for a second up air, though. Oh, just not spacing that up air right. We're getting at the high percents where anybody could die. Up tilt to up air. Shoots out a cannonball. The hit lag of the Mecha Koopa almost saving Bowser Jr. Having to cross the whole stage to reach Samus charging up a charge shot. Bowser Jr. is at a percent where the charge shot fully charged would kill. Recovers low but makes it back. Samus back throw shouldn't kill. I believe Samus's first kill throw is up throw. This is a masterclass in how to build tension for the audience. Someone's gonna die, but we don't know when. Up air's not gonna kill Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. is a tanky character, and if you hit the clown car, Bowser Jr. takes a little bit less percent. Spike on stage, not gonna kill. Up air will kill Bowser Jr., ending the match with only a minute to spare. Good job for both of them for such a nail-biting game. Alright, now we've got Mega Man against Pac-Man. The Battle of the Men. So manly they need to have man in their name.
2, 1, go!
Now, here's a weird quirk I only just discovered. So Mega Man's amiibo nickname did not exactly match the Smash Brothers listing of the name. Basically, I accidentally forgot to put the space in. I'm a little surprised I didn't notice over the last 3 years of doing this. But the interesting thing was when I corrected the spacing, the Smash Brothers game didn't update the name until I reloaded the entire game. That you could maybe even tell that that's why the menu screen music was different, because it changes each time you load the game up. So it's pretty interesting to think that the amiibo probably have some sort of space allocated for them in the short-term memory of the game, so that if you accidentally disconnect an amiibo or something, the game would probably remember and appropriately update them. One of the selling points of amiibo was actually that if they fight, they can earn you rewards in-game. That being said, if you play Smash Brothers more than once a month, you've probably noticed that it's not difficult to get most of the things in the game. The in-game currency is, well, just a generic coin, but you get it from doing pretty much anything in the game, including just playing with your friends. So if you play the game enough, you just get enough resources. Smash Ultimate's a little bit weird in that there's a second resource, Spirit Points. But if you really need Spirit Points, you can buy spirits in the shop and then sell them for more Spirit Points. So there is a way to convert the one to the other. There's not really a way that I know of to convert Spirit Points to coins, but everything that you do that gets you Spirit Points, with the exception of mulching spirits into cores, also gives you coins, so you almost always have plenty of coins. And if that's not enough, there's a gambling mode where you can wager coins and then get more. Well, I don't think they have you wager it anymore. I think there was concerns about, like, gambling or something like that. But it's still just a free way to get coins, and all you have to do is watch people play Smash Brothers. That's enough interesting facts about the overall game, though. On to this match. Two characters that are kind of just known for camping you out. Mega Man's a little weird because his projectiles don't go as far as most other campy characters. So he's good at like a mid-range. Some people will call it a footsies character. Pac-Man did not jump through either of those up airs. That's good, because if he had jumped, he would have died. That's just how the up air works. It's actually because the up air does... You can see that it hits you and deals a little bit of percent, but it doesn't give you hit stun or knockback, so basically it doesn't make you flinch. Mega Man asserting dominance with 2 consecutive parries. Anyways, the up air does push you upwards, so if you jump, the wind box gets added to your normal jump height, and usually that much speed is enough to send a character off the top of the stage. Mega Man with a great parry to down smash. Pac-Man's going to have some work if he's going to try to make this back. Almost gets Mega Man with the offstage cherry, but he eventually gets him with the down air instead. Alright, bringing us back to square one, but with fewer lives. Now, these two characters were both introduced in Smash 4, and Smash 4 was definitely a game where, well, you needed a very strong gimmick. So, like, Pac-Man's gimmick was kind of having a couple of gimmicks, but his grab was almost unusable, and he kind of resorted to incredibly specific setups with either specific fruit or, you know, just camping the opponent out. And Mega Man relied, again, on camping the opponent out and specific setups, including his Metal Blade item. I will say that Smash Ultimate's definitely a healthier space for them to be in, because they're both viable without doing extremely specific things. If Mega Man hits that trampoline, okay, he goes up through it, so he doesn't get put in the special fall. That being said, he's only just started to respond to all the pain he's received from Pac-Man. Fully charging a forward smash, that's dangerous. If you're charging a smash attack and you get hit, you take more knockback. Oh, gets hit by the lingering hitbox of the hydrant. Mega Man gets launched off stage. That's rough. Up next, we've got Falco against Ice Climbers. Who would win, a bird or two Eskimos with hammers?
3, 2, 1, go!
Now this will be interesting because the Ice Climber amiibo doesn't really know all the desyncs that most Ice Climber players know. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on... Well... So that Ice Climber is Popo, even though he's the second Ice Climber, which would be traditionally called the Nana Ice Climber. That being said, these Ice Climbers, you can tell by their gloves which one is which. It's actually why I gave them the skin to make it harder for people to tell. And of course, as the amiibo, they always have, well, they usually have the label over their heads. Nana was able to teleport to Popo for the recovery. So I'm just going to call the second Ice Climber Nana because it's easier for everyone that way. Except for people who are distinctly looking for the glove colors. Were they both in sync there? They're not usually supposed to be in sync. The second Ice Climber is supposed to be about 3 frames slower than the first Ice Climber. I'm of course going to have to double check that, but Ice Climbers have had a weird balance history because they have to keep changing how aggressively the second Ice Climber can be desynced, because that changes a lot about the character. Turns out having two people throwing out hitboxes and you can change which one does what when is really strong. And of course having the solo Ice Climber is a lot less strong, especially because some of their moves include traits that are more beneficial with both of them. Rough match for Falco so far. Maybe it's because I've been talking about the Ice Climbers the whole time. Oh, but he gets a gimpy kill, separating the Ice Climbers. Honestly, when Falco got the up B on Nana at the beginning there, the Falco's up B, if you hit all the hits, it does like 40%. It's to make up for the fact that it doesn't go as far as... Well, the closest equivalent, Fox's up B. Fox and Falco, kind of the balancing there is that Falco has a higher jump and a shorter up B, and Fox has a more normal-sized jump, but a longer up B. So recovery-wise, it's in the favor of Fox, just because if you get hit during your recovery, you get your special move back. That being said, now that they don't get put into special fly after using their side B, it's just a lot easier to recover with both of them. Ooh, Falco got both Ice Climbers in different ends of his jab. Then he gets killed off the top. He's going to need to pull out another early kill. The Ice Climbers are separated. That's usually the weakest position for the Ice Climbers to be in. Falco just flying above them with forward air. Really loving that move. Up throw the taunt. Not a good combo from Falco. Switching Ice Claimers mid-forward air. Falco, ooh, he does get a laser and an attempted spike on the other Ice Climber. Taking a whole bunch of hits, though. This is not looking good for Falco. Oh, and he gets frozen. In Smash Ultimate, you can get frozen by the freezing moves. It used to only happen at like 200%, but now it happens at reasonable-ish percents. You'd think being frozen would be a game ender, but since you can mash differently to change when you get out of the ice block, it's kind of just like a grab or a berry. Oh, weird hitbox there, sending Falco off the side. Now we're up to R.O.B against Duck Hunt. Usually you're going to find these amiibo in the 3-pack with Mr. Game & Watch. They can be found separately, but it's a lot harder. They made a lot less of them like that. Feels like the story of amiibo is buried in inconsistencies. Some characters have alternate skins. Granted, most of those were ones from Smash 4 when the amiibo were especially new. In fact, a lot of the amiibo... Well, honestly, these days you mostly see them in relation to Smash Brothers. There are, you know, some exceptions, but... And people still like collecting them, just not as much as, you know, in the heyday when some of them were downright impossible to find. These days you can find them, although you may not be willing to pay the price. Money. Money is the price, not like a blood oath or something. Duck Hunt finally makes it back on stage. So these two characters are both good at zoning. It's a little weird because R.O.B's good at zoning because he has 2 projectiles and a reflector. Duck Hunt is good at zoning because he has 3 different projectiles. Oh, Duck Hunt with the first kill on R.O.B. Ooh, R.O.B coming back really strong, and then now he's getting comboed. Up here, really high up, that was really bad for Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt managed to live through it, of course. Oh, that was a really slow grab from R.O.B. A little surprised he even still got it, but I guess Duck Hunt's Frisbee just had enough lag. Duck Hunt's been doing a pretty good job of, well, keeping R.O.B at bay. That being said, Duck Hunt was one amiibo who specifically had to get retrained for his refusal to use moves that weren't forward smash. Of course, this R.O.B has also been the only amiibo to get retrained twice, so personally I'm hoping it doesn't have to become a 3rd year. Oh, R.O.B with the falling up air again. Seems to be his specialty. Falls into Duck Hunt's up smash, though. And again. And again, R.O.B needs to stop falling into these up smashes if he wants to win this. Ooh, I think he got a tech there, but then there was another projectile to stuff out his recovery. Gets shot by the cowboy. Still not killing Duck Hunt. There's a high percent so he might have enough rage if he just lands a... Oh! Oh, down throw to down smash. That's not going to do it. Up air will, though. They're both at 2 stocks, but R.O.B's second stock is not going to be too reliable for him. Granted, he just got 3 hits on Duck Hunt. But if he falls into another one of those up smashes like that... Not a rough situation for R.O.B to be in. Gets a good side tilt on Duck Hunt, though. People disrespect the R.O.B side tilt, but it's just a slightly longer jab. He goes for a falling up air again, though. What's going on? Duck Hunt gets the jab. Ooh, R.O.B gets out of the combo with an up air. They're just playing on the ledge, though. R.O.B did a good job of hitting the can, though. Makes it a lot harder for Duck Hunt to use it. Falling up air to forward. Oh, R.O.B. Oh, this is bad. That's a regrab. But R.O.B doesn't space it right. Duck Hunt survives. But Duck Hunt gets hit down below stage. He makes it back. Not even having to air dodge up. Oh, follows up the up air with the can. R.O.B's still hanging in there, though. R.O.B is a rather heavy character with a good recovery, so usually you just have to straight up kill him. Edge guarding is a lot harder. That being said, if he's used his jump. Ooh, R.O.B gets his first down throw combo follow-up, and to an additional up air to boot. This R.O.B just never seems to use the up air at the appropriate times, but he gets a pretty impressive spike on Duck Hunt. He still has one stock to make up, so we don't know if... Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He avoids the up smash, though. That would have spelled his death. Air dodges through Duck Hunt's up air. Actually, because the move lasts so long, it's not super easy. And then gets killed by the Duck Hunt forward smash. So then we're not going to see R.O.B until May Malaise. And we have reached the time for the last match of the video. Fox against Yoshi. Yoshi is, of course, the dark blue coloration because that's the color that was represented the least in the original Yoshi's Island game. Yeah, you'd think they'd all be displayed at the same frequency. However, the final boss fight, they actually put you as Green Yoshi, which, you know, does make sense. But it does mean that Green Yoshi gets one more level, and Dark Blue Yoshi gets one less level. Ooh, Fox goes very low. He fast fell that neutral air. Almost died as a result. Ooh, only hits one hit of that up air. Managed to turn it into his own Build-A-Bear combo. This is going to be probably a very swingy match because Fox is the fastest falling character in the game. Yoshi is the character with the highest airspeed. Fox is fast on the ground and Yoshi is fine on the ground. So Fox doesn't want to be off stage, but Yoshi definitely excels in being able to be wherever he wants, when he wants. But since Fox can mostly keep up, Yoshi doesn't get to have that monopoly. Kind of like how when you're Jigglypuff against Yoshi, it's never a fun time, because Yoshi is the only character in the game who has a better airspeed than you do. So normally Jigglypuff includes weaving in and out in front of an opponent, but Yoshi just keeps going towards you. And since they're both so fast in such different ways, like you can see there, Yoshi was trying to, you know, use his down air above Fox, but Fox's ground speed was enough to keep up. And while Fox may not have as great edge guarding because he falls downward so quickly, his on-stage game is really good. He doesn't seem to be hitting Yoshi with one of those up smashes, but like there, he might have been able to squeeze one in. But once he does, since Yoshi isn't particularly heavy, at least that I know of, for the most part, Yoshi's been doing a pretty good job of keeping Fox in the air where he is less strong. Oh, Fox gets an up tilt though. Well, nope, doesn't follow it up. And another up tilt, doesn't follow it up. May need to teach Fox that his up smash is pretty good. Notes, you know, for potentially future me. Yoshi's been using a whole bunch of down airs. You kind of see why a lot of people don't like Yoshi as a Smash Brothers character, because he's just so spammy. Ooh, they got a clash there. Looks like they both got at it about the same time. That's usually going to happen, although there are some really weird exceptions you'll find every now and then. Alright, Yoshi taking a commanding lead. Fox just still... Oh, there's a forward smash. That's a kill move. Ooh, Yoshi catches the tech with the dash grab, though. Normally, having a dash grab that's so slow would be a detriment, but in Yoshi's case, it actually matched the timing perfectly. Ooh, Fox hit one hit of forward air. Wasn't able to follow it up with anything, though. Wasn't able to shield the full down air. He's now off stage against Yoshi. Pretty terrifying. Fox just could never get his footing. A little weird for a final game to be just so one-sided. But that's life, I guess.